Well, it's been a few days, but I'm back up in Yosemite National Park, up in the Tuolumne area. I just picked up my backpacking permit here at the Tuolumne Wilderness Center. I'll be making my way to the Vogelsang High Sierra camp and the lakes that surround it, and that's where I plan on camping for the evening. But I got the smallest and lightest backpack that I've ever carried, so it shouldn't be too bad getting up there. We're in for a beautiful hike and a nice overnight stay, so let's get right into it. Well, I just left the parking lot, and yeah, this trip I didn't have a permit reserved or anything, so I made my way up to Tuolumne Meadows, grabbed a walk-in permit for the Vogelsang area, like I said, and I'm not even sure about the mileage to get there. It's nice and flat right now, but I will have to climb over 2,000 feet of elevation to get where I want to go. Well, that sign right there said 6.9 miles to the High Sierra camp at Vogelsang. Yeah, I looked a lot further on the map. I guess I'm hiking pretty quickly. I'm catching up to people without packs on. It's a very busy trail. I've passed a lot of people at this point, but the further you go, the less people there will be, and I'm not very far yet. The reason my pack is so small and so light for this trip is that it's mid-July now, so temperatures are much higher than some of my previous videos. So I took this opportunity to bust out the hammock instead of bringing my full tent. So I'll be sleeping in the hammock tonight. And that takes up a lot less space because I don't have to bring rain fly, tent poles. And there's one more reason why my bag is so small, and I only figured this out about an hour into my drive this morning, that I was forgetting my sleeping bag. I had my sleeping bag in a different vehicle that I planned to take, but last second decided to take a different vehicle, and that wasn't a pleasant feeling when I remembered. Kind of felt sick to my stomach for a minute. And I figure I have enough jackets and a pair of pants to sleep in, so, and the low temperature is going to be about 50 degrees. I might get a little chilly tonight, but we'll survive. Okay, about 6.1 miles till Vogelsang. I'm now on the John Muir and the PCT. The PCT being the Pacific Crest Trail that goes from Mexico to Canada, and the John Muir Trail, which starts in Yosemite Valley and ends near Mount Whitney down in Sequoia National Park. This is the first time that I've forgotten a big item though, so I'm kind of annoyed at myself, but I'm sure I'm not alone when it comes to being forgetful. So let me know down in the comments if you've ever forgot something on a big trip, something really important. Vogelsang High Sierra Camp, 5.7 miles. I'm gonna hop off the PCT and JMT right here though. Those trails go that way for hundreds of miles, and it looks like some of the uphill is beginning now. I think I'll take my first little break here, have some water. All right, break time's over. This hill's kind of kicking my butt, and I got a lot more to go. The trail's leveled out a bit here. Gives me a chance to catch my breath. But it hasn't quite opened up yet. Still seeing a lot of the same kind of scenery here. But once I get higher, there'll be some really awesome stuff to see. Well, I've been hiking for about 2 hours now. Not sure what kind of mileage I'm making, how many miles per hour. At least over 2. So I think it's safe to say I've done about 4 miles at this point. And the trail's been at a very reasonable incline since that steeper part. And this section is nice and flat. Next time I have to cross the creek, I'm gonna stop and have some lunch. drink some water, maybe refill some water as well. I might just veer off here. The creek's just right over here. This seems like a good spot. Well, this looks like a pretty good spot to get in and cool off. Well, that was refreshing. And I think I've hiked about 5.5 miles. Probably have about 4 more to go. So I'm gonna get back to the trail. Quite a bit of wildflowers in these tiny meadows here. Got a bunch of lupin back there. Yeah, it opened up really nicely in here. This is an awesome area. I know the elevation's high here, but I am nowhere near the shape that I used to be in my football playing days. For those of you who are new to this channel or don't know me very well, I did have a short stint in the NFL. I was fortunate enough to play for 5 years for some great organizations, including the Rams, Titans, and the Cowboys. And after I stopped playing, I did what any sane human would do. Started a YouTube channel from scratch, and that's allowed me to rekindle my love and fascination for places just like this. This is an awesome meadow. I can't get over it. At this point, we're getting pretty close to the High Sierra camp, and then Vogelsang Lake is not much further than that. I'll make it to the High Sierra camp and assess if I want to go further, camp there, whatever I want to do. Still got plenty of daylight. Still looming in the back of my mind is the fact that I forgot my sleeping bag. The air temperature right now is upper 60s. I'd say about 68 degrees. And I really hope tonight doesn't get too chilly. I'll probably be wearing all of my layers. I might even wear my shoes to bed in my hammock. I don't know if I want to do any more swimming today. I don't want to get myself too cool right before sunset. I want to have as much time to get warm as possible, eat a nice big meal, and go to sleep. Hopefully this backpacking video doesn't turn into a survival video, even though those survival videos are pretty catchy. I'm no Bear Grylls or Les Stroud though. Okay, looks like I've arrived at the High Sierra camp. I'm gonna take the pack off, walk around here for a minute. Check out this white building first. And this camp isn't quite operational yet. I think they're in the process of setting it up. Huh. I guess these are bathrooms that aren't running yet, and maybe some showers. Yeah, it looks like showers that have seen better days. That's a ton of propane tanks. Yeah, it's a bit of a ghost town here. Be fun to see this place operational. I think I'm going to make my way up to the lake now. Pretty good view way down there of Hammock Lake. Maybe someday I'll get the chance to go there. All right, final stretch. I probably have a quarter mile till I'm at the lake. Awesome. This is Vogelsang Lake. Pretty sweet. Well, now it's time to find a campsite. And since I'm hammock camping, I need to find 2 trees that are bigger than these. If I had my tent, this wouldn't be a bad spot at all. Okay, I found this little area tucked away in here. The lake is easily accessible, and I'm also 100 feet away from it. And I have 2 sturdy trees here from the looks of it. I think I'll give it a shot. Okay, the hammock's all set up with the bug net. Now it's time for the test. See if it'll hold me. Okay, that's 100% body weight. It's holding strong. Not a bad spot to fill some water here. I think that's Indian paintbrush, and there's a ton of it around the lake. I can just see little red patches. It's pretty cool. It's very quiet up here. I only hear the wind, the inlet, and the outlet streams. It's pretty peaceful though. All right, time to get up and put my warm clothes on and start dinner. I may need every article of clothing tonight, so I got those drying out. They're still a tiny bit damp. Home-style chicken and rice for dinner. I think that's my favorite peak meal. Looking forward to that. I might do some of my favorite peach cobbler as well. I hiked all of 9 miles today. I think I earned the calories. Okay, lay it flat. That should be good in about 10 minutes. That sun's creeping down, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous about sleeping tonight. I'm gonna try to utilize everything that I have, and we'll see if it's enough. We'll see if I have a comfortable evening without a sleeping bag at over 10,000 feet of elevation. I've got somewhat of a plan though. Probably gonna have to put on all that stuff. And then I do have a rain jacket as well, so that'll help insulate me. And then I might try to put my feet in my backpack to insulate my feet, because it is a waterproof or water resistant backpack. So it should keep some of the warm air in there around my feet. I also brought a pair of gloves this time. mainly for mosquitoes, but I think they're going to come in handy sleeping tonight. And then I do have this small tarp, so I'm going to try to utilize that as well. But if it rains, it's going to have to go over top of me. There's not a cloud in the sky right now, but you never know. I'm going to go find a nice view to sit and eat. I have less than 30 minutes of direct sunlight left. Not a bad spot for dinner. Style chicken and rice. It may not look delicious, but I assure you it is. I'm going to say it again though, I highly recommend homestyle chicken and rice. Packs a punch with 740 calories, and boys, it you relax and enjoy the rest of this sun as it goes down over the hill. And I'll check back in a few minutes. The sun has officially went down, so it's time to make some tea, stay warm, and crawl into the hammock eventually. I just want to show my camp really quick. You'd miss it if you weren't looking for it. All those Indian paintbrush. That is so cool. Seen no sign of anybody else. I better get back up to the camp. It's already pretty chilly without that sun. Well, I decided to make the peach cobbler after all. Well, after I eat my peach cobbler here, I'm gonna get this stuff organized and put away. And I think soon after that, I'll be crawling in this hammock. I'm still very nervous about it. The temperature's already in the 50s, I guarantee it. As soon as that sun went down, it cooled off really quick, as it normally does. But that's going to be it for day one, so if I do get very cold, I'll probably turn the camera on in the middle of the night. If I sleep pretty good, I'll see you in the morning. Well, I cannot wait for that sun to come up over that hill behind me. I wish I could say last night's sleeping was a warm success, but far from it. If I want to sleep in a hammock on these trips, the low temperature needs to be in the upper 60s or low 70s at night. Well, we made it through the night and we finally have a little bit of light. I've already been up and out of the hammock for probably an hour, enjoying some hot water, and we'll get breakfast going here in a second. Just keeping it simple this morning with some oatmeal. Now that breakfast is all done, just gonna enjoy my time. The sun should be peeking over in like 45 minutes. So I'm just gonna move around a little bit, get my body temperature up. The lake is glass smooth right now. It's pretty neat. There's a yellow-belly marmot right there. He's a healthy sucker. He's not worried about me though. That's the first marmot I've seen all year. That was pretty fun. Felt like National Geographic. Alright, I got camp all packed up here. Last thing to do is fill some water, and then I'll be on my way. I guess one last look at Vogelsang Lake. Another curious marmot. We've seen a couple small fish breaching topwater here, so I might as well give fishing a try. There we go. Wow, look at the color of this thing. Little tiny brookie. Awesome. Look at the color on that thing though. Sheesh. Let's catch another one. The GoPro died as soon as I landed that second one. Just another small brookie. This one's a little nicer. It's a tad bit bigger. Still fun to catch though. Take that one right out of the water. Very colorful. Nice. All right, good one to end on. I didn't trust that log for a second. So I'm back in the High Sierra camp now. I'll have to come back when this place is up and running. Hard to read the sign, but 6.7 miles. And I think that's a little short. I think it's further than that. Both of my apps say it's 9.2 miles. I'm about to reach that epic meadow again. It's got to be one of my favorite places I've hiked through in Yosemite. Hiking in the rain again. I have a rain jacket, but it's not raining super hard, and I can afford to get soaked and a little bit cold as I'm heading back to my vehicle. If I was spending another night out here, it'd be a different story. But if I see any thunder or lightning, I'm pretty much carrying a lightning conductor with this metal selfie stick, so I'm gonna have to take cover and wait for the storm to pass. Well, sadly, I'm pretty much out of that meadow now. If you live in the area or you're going to make a trip to Yosemite, I highly recommend taking this trail up here. And the trail is called the Rafferty Creek Trail. It is all downhill on the way back, so I've already crushed like 3 miles. Put in a couple more miles by this point. Well, lesson learned about forgetting my sleeping bag. I pretty much pulled an all-nighter last night. maybe got 30 minutes of sleep. I wasn't freezing, I was just cold enough to where I couldn't sleep. I didn't really end up shivering. But either way, I'd like to not do that again. So I bet you I don't forget my sleeping bag again. And no more hammock camping if it's 65 degrees or below. Well, I'm on that tough hill right now that I had to take on the way in. So I'm getting really close at this point. No wonder I was struggling on the way up. This is a heck of a hill. On the flat ground again. That was a massive hill. I saw a bunch of people going up and they were struggling too, so I don't feel as bad. Okay, well, this is the last tiny meadow. On this side I got all the ranger housing and employee housing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired. My app says 8.2 miles and it took me almost 4 hours. I think 30 minutes of that was fishing. Well, I might just go home and take a nap. I think last night's lack of sleep is getting to me. But if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, I have a playlist dedicated to outdoor trips just like this one. And if you really enjoyed it, I'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.